Like, I feel like we're in this weird space where we've been traveling long enough where it's starting to feel like a sense of like home doesn't feel permanent. It feels like really elusive. Mm-hmm. I feel like we've like passed the threshold of feeling like this is just like a vacation adventure and this is our life.
Totally.
And there's this longing for, I don't know, establishing a new sense of home. You feel better today than you did last night?
Like sickness-wise or emotionally?
Both.
I just feel really vulnerable right now and lately, and just like not always knowing where my path is heading and trying to trust that it's unfolding. In the best days it's an exciting mystery, but like also it's so cool to not know where we're like heading next. But like when you're in a place of craving home, it can be really leave you like longing for a sense of place or something, I guess.
Ooh, it looks good.
You like it?
It's crazy how much better I like myself when my hair's cleaned up. I love feeling good.
Me too. I'm excited to be feeling good again. I feel weird. I think what's happening too is Florida, beaches, tropics. This has all been like the epitome of like the end goal for me. And it's just weird to know like what's beyond this. You know what I mean?
You're like coming up against this like ideal romanticized dream that you've been thinking about for so long. And not only do you have to deal with like just the mundane realizations that life is always going to still have bumps anyways, but in addition to that, Uma's going through this weird like developmental stage where she's really pushing us.
Totally.
And so I think, you know, she's always going to be pushing us in different ways, so I think it feels particularly like heightened when you're in a place that you have been dreaming about for so long.
Totally.
All right, Uma. It's hot though. Should we put it in the freezer for a bit? Okay. We don't want it to be too hot. Okay, let's put it in here. You want to count to 10?
1.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10! Yay!
I think I struggle because I always imagined who I was gonna be when I was parenting on the beach in these tropical places, and I like find myself just sometimes not liking how I respond to things, you know? So it's also just like not even the locations, but just like wherever you go, there you are. Like you have this idea that I was gonna be this like really woke tropical mama, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love you. You are a woke tropical mama. You gonna come to the gym with me while Papa thrifts? Does that sound fun?
No.
No!
You're gonna go make no kisses?
I'm so sorry. Right now we're on some little island. I'm walking on a beach. I don't really know what to say. I'm not really sure of the emotions that I'm feeling, but I want to start encouraging myself to pick up the camera when I don't always just feel complete joy and bliss, because I think that it's so easy to pick up the camera when you're feeling those things. You want to remember those things, you want to project those things, you want others to feel like that is the emotion that emulates who you are and who you want to be. But being a human is so much more complex than that, and today I feel, for lack of a better word, I guess some sadness, stillness, questioning intentions. No matter how much I've lived this life, we just have this tendency as humans to think that you have it figured out and think that when you go up on that up cycle of happiness, that you're going to stay there. And we want so badly to get a sense of stability or control when this is such a fluid, dynamic, ever-evolving life. You know, you may have picked up from our last video, we were really struggling with how to show up as parents when our children or our child has big emotions. And you can't help but question everything that you're doing. And that's just how I feel right now, is like, how much of this really is in the best interest of Uma and her development. You know, from the very beginning, our intentions were to create a childhood in an environment where she's free in the world, where she's exploring the natural world. And I do think that's there, but I think that maybe, I don't know, I'm wondering, have we lost sight of that? And I feel like as parents, probably more particularly mothers, but as parents, if you don't sacrifice everything of yourself, if you don't do everything for your child, that you're a bad parent. And I don't believe in that either. I think it's important for us as adults to also continue to pursue our passions and our directions, and to not make our children our identities. Today was a gloomy day. The birds are flying around us, diving in for their meals. Overcast. Elliot and I didn't really enjoy each other's presence all that much, I don't think. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Maybe none of it needs an explanation. Maybe none of it needs an answer. Maybe none of it needs to be all that threatening. Sometimes we feel sadness, even when we're in beautiful locations, and it's not something to shame ourselves for. I think through acceptance of that sadness comes growth, comes a seed that can finally plant and grow and bloom into something. So important to try your best to be enthusiastic and optimistic about rejection, sadness, disappointment, dissonance. New window, new opportunity. I feel good now, all of a sudden. I'm grateful for that.
Look at this. Wah! 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 Wah!
Another thing that happened is a dear friend of ours came into town. We were just treated so kindly. They rented an Airbnb for us to stay in with them. They bought a bunch of really delicious, yummy meals that we haven't been able to afford ourselves. And we just felt like really held and really taken care of. I think that it gave us an environment where we got to feel not like the only adults that were in charge. And I know that we have so much of a value in terms of like how we want to raise Uma is within community. But so much of this current lifestyle is just me and Elliot and Uma. And I think that can be hard on all three of us. And so I think there's a lot of like reconciling of what does that mean, and how can we seek out some sense of community, some sense of relief, so that we can relieve ourselves from, you know, parent identities, but we don't know how. And I think we felt that, and so then it makes this parenting duty sometimes feel a little more lonely. I feel very rambunctious. Like I have this like wave of frustration and anger that's coming.
Yeah,
Which can be helpful,
totally.
but just so you're aware. Yeah, I'm just not inspired by merely beautiful places. Like it's so much has to be about like the ambiance, and it has to be about our connection to that place. And it's been so interesting to realize like some of the times that have felt the most magical are some of the most mundane locations.
Totally. The beach is beautiful, but like when you're looking at these like condo buildings that are like 10 feet away from the beach and just like lying there, it kind of like doesn't strip it of its beauty.
It does
can,
100%.
like,
Doesn't it make you so sad to think about what this original land looked like?
Totally.
Because when you get glimpses of it at these like state parks, you realize that everything was like this, and so much of it is gone. And I think we're officially in the parts of Florida where it's like, where they talk about van life being a struggle.
Totally. I know, honestly, I was like, do we go all the way down to Florida or do we? But I do think we still want to do that, don't you?
I'm ready to make changes.
Yeah.
I'm ready to like respond accordingly to these feelings.
It's funny that we're held up by waiting for Uma's birthday present to arrive right now. I think yesterday you would have just started cruising down
100%.
the coast.
Yeah, I'm ready to like knock out Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all those like fun little kind of cities and see the beautiful beaches and then boom, get hideaway in nature again.
Totally.
I wanted to fight you last night. I'm frustrated. I was like, pick a fight with me. I was breathing heavily just to get you angry.
It's like you've been driving me around making me do stuff all day.
I know, I was trying to get you to be happy.
I can't believe how much I'm craving forests and mountains. All along when we were in the forests and mountains, that I wanted the beach. It's such a metaphor for life.
Yeah. The other thing that is hard is seeing people travel without children, and then we try to like emulate that form of travel, and it's just not realistic. And it's not nice to Uma. I just, like the other day I had a realization, like, I feel like with how Florida has been, it has like fostered an environment where we have to like go and do so many things, and transitions are so hard for toddlers, and I think there's like an expected sense of performance that she has to do. Like, are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying this? And
I think like the biggest thing, like you're saying, is when we're staying in parking lots, it's not like when we were at a campsite and we could just hang out there all day and Uma could explore around. Like here, we don't want her like really playing. There's cars. This concrete's kind of nasty. And,
yeah.
like, but when you're at a campsite, you don't even have to go do an adventure. You can just hike around the dirt road you drove in on. You can make big elaborate meals on our camping stove and make a big old mess.
Yeah.
We're here, we have to be really discreet when we cook, like quickly pull it out and not like, it just feels awk. And we kind of knew that coming in. We're like, we're gonna be gritty through Florida, but
we're not gritty girls.
No, I'd like to be a dainty forest nymph. I don't know if I can jump up there.
Here you go.
Hi.
Here you go. Here?
Can I come in?
Your house?
Can I come in?
I didn't get this.
I guess.
Right now we're in a YMCA parking lot. I just got done working out and the sun is beaming down on us, and I can just feel there's like this wave of happiness that is coming over us. And it's just a reminder that whether you decide to do van life or follow your dreams or do that big huge thing that you've been visualizing for so long, your problems are going to stay with you. And I don't even want to say problems, but the complex emotions that we feel as humans are going to be with us. And it's just about, not being disappointed that you still feel those things, but allow yourself to feel them and sit with them and embrace them and allow them to pass through, and know that the good times are coming too.
Little darling, it's been a long, long, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles are returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since they've been there. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
I'm happy now.
Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright.